All right, welcome back there, 3U folks. Some notes on conditions. So these conditions, we've always, we had it always equal to. We're comparing whether it was equal to, but it could be greater than, right? This is the greater than symbol, and I'm gonna show you. I'll write it in. I'll write these in first, and then I'll show you how I remember. This is greater than. When I include an equal sign after, I am going to go to paint first here. Where's paint? Paint, 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 paint. Um, so this is the greater than symbol. Greater than or equal to is that symbol, right? Or greater than or equal to in math is that symbol, but we can't do that symbol in Java, so we put an equal sign next to it. So it's greater. This is greater than or equal to. This one is less than. Of course, this one is less than or equal to. And how do I remember that which is which? Well, this is like a math trick, I suppose. This is the one, this actually makes a G for greater than. See, greater than, great. I'm not going to. And this one makes an L for less than. Less than. And that's how I remember that. And that's how you read them. This reads greater than, this one reads less than, and that's how I remember. The two equal signs, equal represents equal to. And I'm going to remind you that, remember that the single quotes is used for variable assignment. Well, what do you mean? Well, remember, that's like roll equals 12. If I wanted to compare, it would be assignment. If I wanted to compare, it would be equal if it was a condition. But this is an assignment. So there you go. The exclamation mark in equals means not equal to. Not equal to. So if I wanted to see if some number was not equal to another number, then I'd use that symbol. A big old word of warning here. When we deal with strings, we don't use this comparison, the equal comparison. We use something called name.equals string2 to check whether the string's name and string2 are equal. And I've written a little code and to illustrate how silly and strange strings are in Java. You don't have to copy this out. So notice what I got here. I got right there string name equals third. And then using this slightly different way of making strings, I have string2 is equal to third. And then I have a condition. If name equals string, then it's going to press yes. It should, right? Print yes. Otherwise, it's going to print no. And guess what? It's going to print no. It sees these as different because of the way strings are. So if I wanted to compare these two in their actual values, this has got actually to do with their location in memory. When it makes a new one, it's not the same as the old one. So if I wanted to compare them this way, then I'm going to use this name.equals business. Okay, I'm going to stop that, run that, and then it compares their values, not their memory locations, and prints out yes that those two strings are actually equal. And that'll become important when we start checking user input for various answers and that sort of thing. So remember, when you're doing strings, you use this dot equals business. Okay, don't have to worry about why as much later, grade 12, then we'll worry. Compound conditions. Conditions can be combined. So this or this, one of these this is an ampersand, or two of them represent an and. The up and down lines, which is above the backslash there, represent or. So for instance, back to our code, I'm going to comment out that. I'm going to uncomment this stuff. Get my So for instance, if I had roll equals 12, and then I say, if I want to say or, that's the two lines, or roll equals 2, then this is or snake eyes, that's when you win. Okay, and you win, and I'm going to make the roll. Now we'll just see what happens here. So this is a compound statement, and notice that I have my condition in brackets, and I got to be careful. My brackets are in pairs like this, and maybe, oh, the roll was 7. It got caught up here. But if I had a 2 or a 12, it would have got um, picked up in there. So, for instance, I have another example that I'm gonna use for my compound thing. Um, One thing that we haven't talked about very much are maybe I'll go back to my note here, and I'm gonna comment all that stuff out again. I'm gonna do another different example. Comment that range. A variable is a Boolean. Remember, is that was a true or false Boolean, and I'm going to assign it the initial value false, which is another keyword. So, for instance, I could say if not done. So, are you not done? And so it's going to check this, right? Um, and so I'm going to put in my ampersands there, and time remaining is greater than 0. And so there's my second command. So if we still got time remaining, let's put in that in there. So um, time remaining is going to be some sort of double. Let's say double time remaining, and this might be like a puzzle or something like that. And this is some timer, but maybe we'll just assign it to the value 12 seconds or something like that. And then we might say c.print line get to work. So not done, if done is false, but not if not done, and time remaining is greater than 0, which it is, this is true, and this is true. So that means this is going to it should, unless Restall's goof this up, it should write get to work. Now error. What did I do? Unexpected symbol ignored. Oops, I had an extra bracket there. All right, so there's that condition, not done. And notice this is, since it's Boolean, this is already either true or false. And then there. And so now I can combine conditions to make my program more complicated. What's next? Attached on the end of this note. Oh, hang on. The exclamation opposite of the condition is usually thought of as not. So just like up here, it was not equal. That is not whatever. The exercises are attached to the website, and there's a bunch of different things you can do. You want to save those in, attach your answers to this note would be a good idea, or you can include them in the new note. And probably you could save the program that you use to test that code, but I will leave that up to your wise decision.